All right, what's up, guys? This is my boy Emerson. He is a TikTok affiliate, so am I. And I'm gonna show you guys the whole journey between mainly Emerson. I want this to be more about him, but I will definitely make another video talking about my journey for sure. But I'll talk a little bit about my stuff. But Emerson, he's done over 25K a month consistently. He's done over $3 million in revenue, hundreds of thousands of dollars made at 19 years old, and he's in college right now. He actually just moved into his new dorm. Your second year now, right?
Yep, sophomore.
Yes, sir, sophomore. So it's gonna be an exciting journey for him. But we're gonna talk about how this guy's made pretty much incredible fucking money at your age, bro. How much are you doing? How much did you do today? Or just I guess you could just show them like instant proof. Like, do you have a
Yeah, let me put up my dashboard real quick. So today's a
yeah
Monday, a little bit slower, but
Monday today, 2026?
right
It's
now you can
August.
see 11K in revenue today with that. It says
Woo!
$17, but that's because
Again,
I put it through my agency, so that's actually around like 1700. So pretty
damn, $1,700 in profits.
just today, bro. So
Yeah,
pretty
for you guys who are still want to see some results. This is Emerson's results. These are some screenshots he sent me. I told him like, just send me some stuff to show to you guys, and this is kind of what he's done. Some results, right? So I mean, you can see here he's done another freaking 1 point something K day. This guy's Ruby status W. He gets $4 in commissions, but obviously that gets paid in the back end, obviously to his agency, and a lot of cool stuff. Spending 1 hour a day. We gotta touch into how you spend an hour a day batch filming or recording and making like almost 2K in a day, right? Without even touching a camera 7 days later. So pretty crazy. Getting yourself a freaking great gift. You got the motorcycle now. That's pretty W. This is me doing like 30K, I think during June, so over a month ago. All right, now that you guys know that Emerson is actually making decent money, before we go into how he's a coach now and helping other people, we gotta start with how he started, which we started around the same community. I'm not gonna say the name of it because the owner's kind of I don't know what he's gonna do, but back in 2024, we paid this like small low ticket community. It was like $100 a month. A bunch of stay at home moms in there, and the chat was just super flooded, honestly. But it was it got us started, right? That's the most important part. It got us started, and at that time for the first few months, I wasn't really making that much money. I grew my accounts. I was doing bottom of funnel, which they were also preaching as well. But they were just not really doing it the right way, and the owner was honestly gatekeeping a lot of sauce behind the scenes. And you, on the other hand, you got, I believe the first few months you actually got pretty lucky because you came from like an affiliate marketing background already, kind of, in a sense.
Mhm.
But that really didn't matter because the bottom of funnel was so easy. But talk to us about like how your first few months were inside of the community, and kind of what happened after that.
See, my first few months, they actually weren't as bad for me because I got really lucky with the ad spend. Like my first like 5 videos blew up for this brand called Goalie. So within my first week, I was doing 300, 400, $500 a day, and I was doing that. And then Q4 happened, so I was hitting some pretty big numbers there. And with all that money, I was able to buy my first car, which is a Lexus that you can see right there. It's pretty nice. When I got a used car because didn't need to buy anything that crazy right now. I was only in high school. I was only 17. I couldn't even do TikTok legally yet. I had to have my parents' ID to sign up for that stuff. So
Yeah.
it was a pretty fun time, and that was my journey starting out on TikTok Shop.
Yup. Yup. You had to use your parents. That was funny. Their ID. Now obviously you're 19 right now, so
Yeah.
you have your own ID, so it's fine. But yeah, you have to be over 18 to do TikTok affiliate, by the way. Obviously to make money, but I believe sometime in 2025 there was a turning point where you were making money with TikTok, and then you had a downturn. I think it's because you went to Japan or something, right?
Yeah, so I'll get into that. So
Yeah,
the like
Japan.
in January, February, and like March and whatnot, it was a really good run for me because I had like another video go like absolutely crazy. So I was doing like 1K days at that time.
Yeah,
And then like around like February to March, like I think something like the algorithm or something changed there, and my videos didn't do as good anymore. And I was kind of discouraged for a little bit, but I just kept on going. And then when April came across, I started going on vacation with my family because it was spring break. And then after spring break, it was exam season for my high school, so I didn't like post for like 2 months. And then like after my exam season, I graduated. And the day I graduated high school, my family and I took a trip to Japan, and I did not post for the entire summer. So from basically March to April, I did not post a single thing, and my sales just absolutely dropped to zero. And then in August, when I finally got back home, I was going straight to college. New environment, new everything, and I didn't post from August to November at all. I didn't even like can like officially start posting until like November 30th, which is basically like December at that point. So it's basically a whole year where I just didn't do TikTok after my like start, and that really killed all the momentum I had for my TikTok shop journey in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah. You didn't post for the heat of Q4, bro. Last
Yeah, I
year.
missed out on Q4.
Yeah.
It was
That's
really bad.
crazy actually. That was generational. I mean, Q4 is coming up right now, so obviously this is gonna be your next redemption, right?
Next redemption, but we're gonna do.
But you literally did fucking you did almost 2K today, so I mean it's like
Yeah,
quarter three right now. So um I mean you're still back, you know. I mean that's what happens when you plug and play a system that works and you're just adapting. But around this time as well, when you were away, I was actually in a smaller, well, from this community right here, which is, I'm not gonna say the name again, but the owner kind of sold out. But within this community, I will say the biggest benefit that I've received from it was connecting with people. Remember like people like Joseph, you know, Phantom, like these people, Emerson, like from that community, like connecting with some of these people that I kind of ventured off with in a separate private group chat because we formed our own separate private group chat because the owner was selling out to this brand called Goldie. So Goldie just paid him a fat pocket. He's like, "Yo, sell out for us. You know, sell your community out. Just promote us." Kind of vibe. It was getting really like ratty, right? So we all kind of ventured out into our own group because we just knew like that community was kind of ass. And then we formed our own separate, it was like a private community of like 20, 30 people. And we were all just trying to like, actually, this is where actual, like we were trying to figure shit out, always sharing value. And, you know, it was great. During this time, this is back in like early 2025, back when you were like not printing, I was beginning to print because we found these little simple systems, like simple like videos where you don't have to show your face. It's like long, like you just put out these very automated videos where you just continuously reuse sounds or audios, and you're printing money very easily. Back then, you could also use like text hooks like buy one get one free, and that would be very cracked at activating GMV max, right? Because GMV max is best when you like when people tap on that orange card on the bottom left, and then that increases that click through rate, which brands will automatically like at the ad distribution will automatically spend more ad spend to your videos from the brand when that click through rate is increased. So buy one get one free, like people love seeing that, and they just click on that cart, and then boom, you would get so much ad spend. But obviously, right now you can't do buy one get one free. You have to like we're continuously adapting, like I said, till this day. Like you can't just like do what worked in the past. Like certain methods just don't milk forever. But obviously, we're doing something else right now. It's pretty good. But that's besides what I'm trying to get at. Essentially, I think after all that, I was basically figuring out what worked on my end, and you saw what I was doing was working on Instagram, right, or something. Because I think like back in September, October, I was posting personal brand stuff because I wanted to share the sauce. I wanted to like build a community. I wanted to like genuinely also help people, obviously for like a win-win back, right? So I think during like like November of last year, back when you were trying to lock back in on TikTok, you like happened to see me on Instagram randomly, and you didn't even follow me before that. You just saw me on there, and then, um, I think you just like reached out to me because you just saw like I was printing, and you saw how much the game has changed, right?
Yeah.
Um, so what made you really want to like work with me? I guess specifically like during that time.
So yeah, it was because I knew you beforehand, and I was like, wow, this guy I remember from the server, like he was there. I talked to him quite a bit, but now he's like actually doing really good on TikTok, and I was like, holy crap, I've been so lazy these past few months, and I was not posting, and now like if he can do it too, why can't I? So I reached out to him, and like I knew I needed to like network and meet more people in a good like-minded community. So that's why I decided to join the dojo, and it's been a great decision ever since.
Yeah. Wait, when did you join again? Like 2020, like
I
November or
joined
December?
I joined like November like 28th, dude. So like, it was
Oh
like
shit.
after Black Friday, like So that was fun.
Yeah. So after the rush already, but then I think your first month back officially, you made like you said you made like what 5K or 2K? Like how much was it?
I made 5K my first month back on
Okay.
TikTok. So
From basically zero, right? Because you lost like a
zero,
whole bunch
yeah,
of momentum.
yeah. No momentum,
Okay,
no
and
growth.
then the month after 5K you did like 10, I think, or what was it?
It was 10, and then it was 15, and it was like, now it's like 20, 25K. So it's been around there.
Okay, and you were just slowly incrementing it up, like pretty much month to month, and now you're hovering between like, like something, 25,
Yeah,
20.
20, 25K. So waiting for Q4. We're gonna see what happens there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You gotta tell these guys how you're able to still generate that much, but you only work like how many hours a day do you usually work?
So at the start, when I first joined the community and like I learned all the sauce, it's really simple, but it wasn't easy. And when I first started, I pumped out like 6 hours a day of work. I would just film all day long. I'll post 200 videos a day, and it was hard at the start for me. But I just simply just used the techniques I learned, and I got to my first 5K after joining again, and I got to 10K. And then like right now, once you figure out the systems and you make something good for yourself, I only work an hour a day now. I only post 30 videos, and what my system is I product research the day before, and then after that, I just basically make a list of the products I want to record. I get them set up, and then the next day I just basically record the products I have on my camera app, and then I just go into TikTok and then just use like B-roll footage that I have from all my vacations. 'Cause I took a lot of like videos in Japan and in all my vacation spots I've been to. And I just basically just use those like 3-second footage clips, and then
Yep.
I just paste them together with the rest of my product videos, and it's just been my system ever since. It's been working pretty good.
Real quick, if you're already making anywhere from 1 to 10K a month online, whether it be Amazon, UGC, or some kind of e-commerce site also, it doesn't matter what, you're not new to making money, you already proved that. But you're doing way too much for what you're actually keeping. You're managing 100 moving parts showing up in ways that take way more energy than it should, and it's just exhausting. So my team's opening up a few strategy calls every week for people exactly in that spot. We'll look at what you've got going on right now, whatever that looks like for you, and tell you what's actually working, what's eating up your time for not much return, and how bottom of funnel could actually fit into what you're already doing to make things much more simpler and much more predictable in your life. It's free, it's 30 minutes, and at the end, if it's a good fit, we'll talk more about how we can actually work together. And I wanna make it crystal clear that these calls are with me and my team, and people who are actually doing this business model ourselves, not a sales rep reading a script. So we're picky about who gets one. If you're serious, links below, go book it. If you're not, that's fine too. I'd rather you not waste your time or ours. All right, let's get back to the video. Fire, bro. And obviously you're mixing that in with other formats that are more
Yeah.
safer right nowadays. Because, like I said, guys, with TikTok, the guidelines change. We're constantly adapting. What worked, before you used to be able to spam like one format, like just straight one format and be like fine. But now TikTok's cracking down. But now you're still making money, right, safely because you're mixing in formats.
Mhm.
But yeah, essentially, I guess the point is you plug and played a system that works, that's constantly adapting, right? Paid for a mentorship and you took off with it. So now we're constantly adapting. Now you're a freaking coach inside the program. So how does that feel? Like actually like being a coach as well, helping people, and yeah, just leading a group of people as well, and like figuring out sauce along that.
So it feels really good because at the start, like in my first community, most of the information was outdated. Like it was just surface level information. They don't really go deeper in here. But like with the dojo, when I was learning in there, everything was new, up to date. You get the latest information, and you gotta basically take that information you learn and apply it quickly. So what I do now, especially in the dojo and when teaching the students, is I constantly test and learn and see what new things are happening right now, and then I teach you guys on the calls, or I implement them right away and test them to see if they work. And when they do work, it goes crazy for you. Like you find a system that works, that is brand new, and then once you hone down and focus on it, it goes crazy. So my
Yeah.
1 hour system is going really good right now, and all through testing and trying out new things.
Why don't you work more, bro? Can't you just scale more accounts, work more?
I had so this is what happened to me, right? I figured out that if I get too many accounts on like one phone, it will like lower the sales on your like other accounts. So like right now I have like freaking I have four phones with me right now. I got these two right here. I got these ones right here. So like
Yeah.
I've been trying out new systems. So I'm doing the 1 hour a day system on my main account, but I got some other stuff I've been cooking up and testing right now. So
Fire, bro. Yeah, that is a superstition, but I think it's kind of true. I think other people have, even I've noticed that when I've had too many accounts, like I think it's like diminishing returns a little bit. So I think like the perfect range is like four, like 3 to 4,
hmm
and then like you're pretty set. But yeah, oh yeah, I guess I want to show this picture too because we actually ended up meeting at Korean barbecue. We had a dojo meetup a few months ago with the boys and people who were making like good money and some people who were new even. It was a good feast, bro. We had a Korean barbecue. Met up for the first time. It was sick seeing you and the boys. After like VCing in Discord for so long. But um, what is this guy doing here, bro? What the heck? Bro's just smiling at the camera. Who's this man? But funny story though. After you freaking, we all had like a bottle of soju or like soju shots. Dude, I think you had like a couple of shots and you went to the bathroom
yo,
after they just cleaned it and you threw up like everywhere, bro.
damn.
Yo, I'm exposing you right now, bro. Wait,
You gotta
what?
celebrate when you make $600 after hanging out with your boys all day, bro.
That
Like
is true. That is
I batch
true.
recorded that day, so
That's crazy. Dude, they
celebration.
literally just cleaned I remember they cleaned the bathroom, and then you go into the bathroom and threw up on the sink and the freaking urinal.
Oh, yo,
All right,
yo.
I'll stop. I'll stop. That was funny though, bro cannot handle his alk. Not playing. But yeah, I mean, I guess to put it simply, I guess I show all that to show you guys that Emerson's also a coach now, and he paid for a mentorship, and now we're just constantly adapting to the new guidelines and you know showing you guys ways to actually make money that's actively active. So it's not just a stale course; it's an actual community of you know people and us that are actually continuously innovating and adapting to what's trending and within guidelines right now. Because I see a problem I see in the space is there's a lot of people like trying to teach this shit or coaches, and they just spam that same format that doesn't work and keeps getting people banned, right? So as long as you're adapting and moving to a trend that is best for longevity, but for also making money, you might not see results within the first month, or in the first 2 weeks that you want to see, whether it be 5K or 10K. You will definitely see sales come rolling in, but some people have unrealistic expectations coming into this. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this. It's like get rich quick scheme. I'm gonna make 10K my first month or 5K. If that's you, please, this business model is not for you. I mean, me and Emerson, we've both been through this, bro. Eating shit for months, right? Winning for months. That's just how the game is. And I mean, I say all that to say that I mean, Emerson, what do you think, bro? Like, was this all worth it? Even though you ate shit for months,
Yeah,
you came
it
back
sounds
and you made money. How does it feel now? Like, is it worth it?
it sounds like it was really easy, but in reality it was not. It took a lot of grinding, a lot of like hard work, and you gotta really focus in and actually put the information you learn to use because everything that I was taught and learned was simple, but it wasn't easy. It took a lot of actual dissecting the information, really putting in the effort to implement those strategies to grow and do good at TikTok Shop. And like right now, it's doing good right now because I spent all that time at the start preparing and learning the strategies, and then starting to do my own in the end, and then now it's paying off for me. So that's how it was at the start. You got to really learn and take in all the information, and then eventually you can start creating your own strategies you think would work. And then when you find one that works for yourself, you just double in, go all in on that, and then you'll be doing pretty good.
Damn fire, bro. Yeah, really just
Yeah.
taking insights in and developing your own strategies right over time, and that's what we kind of help people do. It's really just to teach you how to fish for yourself over time, right? Especially with the softwares we use, affiliate center, etc. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not gonna take too much time doing this, but if you guys want to get your hand held by me, Emerson, and a few other coaches that are not even haven't done videos with yet, but they're just gonna help because they vibe, they fuck with the community, and also, you know, just be in a community of people of killers, people making money, actively figuring out sauce, small knit community, group weekly calls, and like really handheld, and like actively moving with us, then feel free to click the link below if you want to work with us directly. It's a free strategy call, anyways. But as long as you're serious and willing to put in that 2 hours a day, and actually lock in with this, then feel free. But other than that, thanks Emerson for hopping on. We're gonna hop off, and you guys take care. Love y'all.
See y'all.